Oh no! What's wrong, Stitch? So, it looks like he has burned himself. A second-degree burn on his arm. As for the signs and symptoms that I see redness and blistering on his arm. Symptoms, if I look at him and ask him how he's feeling, he says that he feels burning and pain in his arm. So the first thing we want to do is remove it from the heat source. He was burned by boiling water, which fell on his arm, so there's no more, the source is gone. It's been removed from the heat source. We want to go ahead and cool with running water. Typically in a kitchen, you'll have that with a sink, but since we're in the room right now, we'll just use some water. And we want to continue to do that until after there is no pain, even when the water is not running on the arm any longer. Another thing that we want to do is remove any clothing or jewelry before the area starts to swell. So, as you can see, he has jewelry on his arm. So we're just going to go ahead and remove that. And of course the sweatshirt will be rolled up or removed at this time. I don't want to dismantle him right now. Okay, so we're going to continue to cool with running water. Is it still hurting? Yes, so we're going to continue with that. And another thing that we want to do after the burning is gone and we've stopped with the cool running water is apply a non-stick dressing to the area. We want to make sure that it is loose and not restrictive, so it's not causing any more pain. We also do not want to tape it to the skin because that can make matters worse as well. So this is just a small second-degree burn on the arm, and we can see that with the redness and the swelling as well as the blisters. If it's on a bigger area, then we will definitely advise the victim to go contact EMS or get emergency medical services for something that is a bigger area or something that's more intense. But that would be the first aid steps for dealing with the second-degree burn. Can I help you? Okay, I'm going to do CPR. Is that okay? You over there, please call 911. Okay, he is obviously choking right now. There's no noise or he's not coughing, so I can assume that this is a complete airway obstruction. I already got his consent and told somebody to call 911. So now I'm going to stand behind him. I'm going to reach around to his abdomen. One leg I'm going to put forward just in case he falls back and becomes unconscious. And then I'm going to put my head to the side of his head because his head can snap back while I'm doing the compressions here. Or the abdominal thrust, excuse me. So I'm going to put my, make a fist, and the thumb side is going to go right above his navel. I'm going to take my fist in my other hand, and that is when I'm going to start pushing up, putting pressure upwards and inwards. And what I'm trying to do is force the air into the lungs, from the lungs, up into the trachea to dislodge the object. So I do an abdominal thrust. I pause and see if he's dislodged the object, if he's okay. No, I do it again. I keep going and doing that until the object is dislodged or if he becomes unconscious. Now, if he does become unconscious, I'm already set and in this position. If he falls back, I'll be able to catch him, lead him to the ground, and that's when I can start CPR. So I see that this person is currently having a seizure. They are convulsing and they're not responsive. So they're not really conscious as to what is going on. They do not have control over their body. So the first thing that you want to do when you notice that somebody's having a seizure is you want to remove any dangerous objects. So I'm going to go ahead and move this just so it doesn't fall on the victim here. Move anything around them. What you also want to do is put something soft around their head so they do not get injured. So I'm going to grab a nice sweatshirt and put the padding around the head to make sure. If they do wear glasses, you want to remove the glasses because that can also cause injury. If they have any clothing around their neck, you want to loosen it up to help them out with their breathing. But you don't want to restrict any of their movements because that also can cause injury. You want to check for a medical ID bracelet just in case that has any pertinent information that you may need. If the person starts to vomit, you also want to turn their head to the side. That way the vomit can exit the mouth and they will not choke on it. As I said, no restraining of the movements because that can cause further injury. If they're responsive, you want to put them in recovery position and monitor their breathing. So seizures typically take seconds to minutes to pass. You want to make sure you are keeping track of the time that the seizure is going, because if it is over 5 minutes, then you're definitely going to want to call 911. So after the seizure is over, you want to put the victim in recovery position on their side with their knee bent. Also make sure that you're monitoring their breathing as well, just in case. Make sure that they are breathing, even if you have to do a head tilt and a chin lift. Also, as they regain consciousness, you want to reassure them so they know that everything's okay, that they've just had a seizure. Also, circumstances where you want to call 911, as I said, if the victim has another seizure, if the seizure lasts for more than 5 minutes, if they are pregnant, slow recovery, or if they have trouble breathing, or if they were injured from the seizure. And those are the steps for helping victim out if they are suffering from a seizure.